Stuart Goldsmith, and in this clip from my Comedian's Comedian podcast, the wonderful Carmen Lynch talks us through the differences between British and American stand-up, and we describe how a dark or sad story an American tells could be seen as a hilarious story to someone from this side of the pond. Also, Carmen has a fantastic knack for deftness of writing. Her special that's out at the moment here in 2022 is called Vertically Obese, which is a phenomenal title for someone as tall as she is. So do find that. But for now, here's Carmen Lynch.
And also, I think the American style of punch, 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 joke, 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 joke. There's far more of a trend over here for people to do shows about their father or a theme.
Right, like something depressing. Like I told somebody the other day that I was there for 9/11 and I was like covered in soot, and they're like, oh, that would make a great story for the Fringe. And I'm like, it's not funny.
Oh my God.
You know, but apparently there is kind of an American hour here where you just do your stand-up.
Yes,
right?
But I think this year I've seen more and more American acts going, here's me talking about a thing and actually enjoying the fact that you have an hour to get into something.
Because there's no pressure to get laughs on the hour here? Or
absolutely not. But there is such a pressure to stand out from the herd.
Yeah.
I think that's my own theory. I'm not sure if that's accurate, but I feel like that's why if there's 3,000 shows in town, people want to say to you, like, you know, press want to say, what's your show about? What is, you know, how's it different to everyone else's? And I think that over time turned into, I'm wearing the uniform that my dad wore in the war or something, you know, something like that.
And that almost sounds, I mean, I could be wrong because I've never done it, but it almost sounds easier to write a show every year if it's like that kind of story than coming up with punchlines for every, you know what I mean? For jokes. Like,
well, I think that's a good point. I think, as far as I know from having these conversations, I was talking to Hari Kondabolu, and he was saying the American attitude, like the British attitude is, hey, we turn over an hour every year. And the American attitude is, yeah, you shouldn't. Do you know what I mean? Because it takes longer to build stuff.
And it takes long to really get it evolved and developed. And, you know, you constantly come up with new little tags for the hour.
Well, let's talk about your stuff. As I said before, I've only seen the clips of you, a couple of the clips of you that are available online on Conan and on Letterman. And your style, just from those two clips, that's all I know of your work, but they're both brilliant.
Thank you.
You are almost, I would describe you as someone, you're almost like a one-liner comic because it's so lean. The writing is really lean.
Yeah, it tends to go that way. Sometimes I cut out too much fat, you know, and I have to add a little bit more in, and people are like, I don't get that joke. So I kind of do the opposite.
That's fast. Right, we're in. Give me an example of that. Give me an example of something.
God, it'll be a stupid line like, oh my God, I have no idea. But it'll be something like, I didn't like this, I don't even know. But if I talk about my mom being dramatic because she's Spanish, and instead of saying that she's dramatic, I just say like how she's dramatic.
Okay.
You know, and I have to be like, oh, I have to tell them that she's dramatic?
Yes.
Isn't it obvious? But it's obvious to me. So I get in my little like one-linery world where I don't share enough.
And you're trying to trim.
And I keep trying to trim because for me, it's always been a pressure to get the laughs in, which is not necessarily. And the weird thing is like, I'm always told like, you pause so much, you know? And I'm like, it's weird. I do pause a lot, but then I try to put in funny in every second. So
I think that's really a kind of a cornerstone of your style is that you can pause because you're about to get to the joke very quickly.
Yeah, that could be it. Or I'm just a very slow thinker.
Ha! Well.
Which can be true too.
Maybe.
It's always nice to perform in a venue that looks and feels like a really oversubscribed one of those puzzle room escape games.